Well, things are getting very interesting here in the world of health and science and what's going on in the world in those areas. Again, James Watson, one of the two guys, James Watson and Francis Crick, back in 1953, shared the Nobel Prize for coming up with the structure of DNA and the double helix structure of DNA. And he just came out now, 60 years later. James Watson comes out and says, gene sequencing is not the solution. Gene sequencing is not the solution. He says you can sequence 150,000 people. It's not going to cure anyone. It might give you a few leads, but it's not the solution. The solution is good chemistry. And he's British, so I'm assuming he means good biochemistry, because he's not necessarily a drug guy. At any rate, he also said that most of the experiments we're doing are irrelevant. We're not going to cure diseases by doubling the money. We're going to do it by more intelligence, okay? Then you come out with the big study from the University of Wisconsin. It came out, and they said habits, not hospitals, affect counties' health rankings. For instance, when you look at Pennsylvania, they said Philadelphia County ranked first in healthcare. In other words, the most hospitals, most doctors, most research, medical schools, but worst in overall health when it came to the counties in Pennsylvania. So what's going on here? Yeah, well, I've always said that it's not technology that's going to save you, keep you well. It's always raw materials. It's raw materials that are going to keep you healthy, not technology. If you read the book Immortality and the CD From Here to Immortality, you find that the top 20 longevity cultures on Earth are not from industrialized nations or first world countries. They're all from third world countries. They're illiterate. They have no doctors, no private or government insurance. They have no clinics or hospitals. They have no 911, no emergency services. I mean, no pharmaceuticals, no pharmacies, no pharmacists. You would not go to those places because they don't have any medical stuff, no medical support. So why is it they have 40 times the 100-year-olds we do? Why is it these peoples who have nothing in the way of health care have 40 times the 100-year-olds we do? They have 100-year-old per 250 of their population. Americans have 100-year-old per 10,000. These guys with nothing have 40 times the 100-year-olds we do. This is significant. And when you ask, when the reporters who wrote the obituary on George Francis, who is the oldest man in America when he died at 112 in December of 2008, she said, well, he broke all the rules of healthy eating with a diet heavy on dairy, eggs, and large sandwiches, totally counter what medical doctors have been saying for 50 years. And yet, medical doctors live to be average of 56. So I'm going with George here. Now, his diet was heavy with cholesterol and saturated fat. We know from recent studies, and I said it in 1971, that cholesterol is not the boogeyman. Cholesterol in and of itself and triglycerides themselves don't cause any disease. But when you restrict cholesterol by dietary restriction and lowering cholesterol with statin drugs, as we've done over the last 50 years at the behest of doctors and the government, we wound up with erectile dysfunction because testosterone is 95% by weight cholesterol. Wound up with terrible menopausal problems because, again, estrogen and progesterone are 95% by weight cholesterol. Everybody's exhausted. We have adrenal exhaustion because 95% of adrenal hormones are by weight cholesterol. We're vitamin D3 deficient, which is 99% by weight cholesterol. And the FDA came out and said, statin drugs increase your risk of Alzheimer's disease by 100%, increase your risk of type 2 diabetes by 52%. Don't take statin drugs. That's the FDA warning came out. And then, of course, in the Science News, they came out and said HDL, high-density lipoprotein, the good cholesterol, won't reduce your risk of heart attacks. You can have 100% of your total cholesterol, HDL, and it won't reduce your risk of heart attacks because there's a cover article because cholesterol has nothing to do with disease. It's an indicator. It's a barometer that something else is going wrong. You have prediabetes. You have low thyroid. You have deficiencies of certain nutrients. Will all raise your cholesterol and triglycerides, but they don't cause any disease. They're just sort of like the red warning light. Lowering your cholesterol is like pulling out the light bulb on your red warning light in the car instead of putting more oil in. Okay? And so we've been doing it all wrong because doctors know nothing about nutrition. So what you do is get a hold of that book, Immortality, and the CD, From Here to Immortality. Get on the 90 for Life program. At the very least, for your body weight, is one Healthy Start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. At the very least, just take the 90 essential nutrients appropriate for your body weight. Start giving your body the basic thing it needs. Do not think in your wildest dreams you can get everything you need from your food. You must supplement. I'm screaming at you to supplement. Medical doctors kill, injure, and infect 15 million of their customers in the workplace every year. Medical doctors kill more people every year in America. Medical doctors kill more people every year in America than the mafia has in 1,000 years. Why do you keep going to doctors for simple things? Obviously, an emergency, you're bleeding internally, been run over by a truck, you've fallen off a 30-story building, you've survived, you need to go to emergency room. Other than that, get a hold of the book Immortality. Get a hold of that trilogy of books, Let's Play Doctor, Let's Be Herbal Doctor, and the Passport to Aromatherapy. Take care of yourself. Flee from the medical guys. We're the number one obese nation in the world following their directions. We're the number one obese nation in the world following the doctor's directions. They know nothing about obesity, yet they pound their chest and say they're the experts. Flee and save yourself. We'll be back with more Truth, Justice, and the Youngevity Way on Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages.
If you're the type of person who likes to volunteer and help others, this should interest you. What better way to help people than to help them overcome their health challenges? Youngevity has been helping people overcome their health challenges for years. Our approach to health is drastically different than medical doctors who mostly only treat symptoms. As a veterinarian, Dr. Joel Wallach discovered that many common disease states are actually preventable and reversible. Our mission at Youngevity is to educate Americans about their own health. If you like helping people, join us in our fight to save America. While you're helping people prevent and overcome health challenges, you will also be able to build a lucrative home-based business. So what are you waiting for? Come join us and help save America. If you've decided to join us, call your local Youngevity associate to find out how you can arm yourself with the knowledge that's needed to save America.
It doesn't matter whether you're buying coffee at the Quick Mart,
Thank you very much.
grocery store, or one of those Wi-Fi equipped coffee shops. The cost these days is ridiculous.
$5, please.
If you're one of us who remember buying coffee at the local diner for a nickel or a dime, and are having sticker shock over the price of coffee these days, I've got great news for you. How would you like to own your own coffee company? We're not talking about some several $100,000 franchise investment. Youngevity and its family of companies has now made it possible for you to be a coffee baron for just $10. Youngevity's newest company, Jovolution, can do just that. With a full range of great-tasting gourmet coffees, some of the selections also contain healthy vitamins. So stop helping those gourmet companies build empires and start building one of your own with Jovolution from Youngevity. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate. And don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Okay, Doug, what pearls of wisdom do you have?
Well, I thought we'd talk a bit about prediabetes, or they used to refer to that as the metabolic syndrome. Have a Fox News story here headlined, 90% of people with prediabetes don't know it. That's all coming from the CDC in their weekly report, Morbidity and Mortality. And they describe prediabetes as having high blood sugar levels, but not high enough to be classified as diabetes. You see, this prediabetes puts them at increased risk for type 2 diabetes. So about 15 to 30% of people will, with prediabetes and don't take steps to reduce their risk, it will progress to type 2 diabetes within 5 years, according to the CDC. And they say in 05 and 06, there were about 7% of people with prediabetes in a CDC survey knew they had the condition. The CDC analyzed information from 09 and 2010, adults ages 20 years and older, and had them give blood samples and were asked if a doctor had ever told them that they had prediabetes. They said just 11% of those knew they had it. They said people taking medication for high blood pressure or high cholesterol were more likely to know that they had prediabetes compared to those not taking medications, 14% compared to 6%. Said those who are obese were more likely to know they have the condition compared to those with normal weight, 10% compared to 4%. They said increased awareness of prediabetes is needed. They said it can take steps to prevent progression to type 2 diabetes by eating healthy foods, increasing physical activity, and losing weight. And not one mention of Sweeties and or the 90 essential nutrients. So once again, they figure something out, but then they take the veer off to the left and end up way off out in the left field someplace.
You're exactly right. They've got the statistics correct, but they always take that left-hand turn when it comes down to because in their pea brains they're still thinking it's genetic. That's where the problem lies. And of course, we've known since 1957 that type 2 diabetes, which makes up 98% of the diabetic population, is a simple mineral deficiency disease. And I have some pretty famous people, some pretty heavyweight people in the medical industry who were having real trouble with the cutting-edge medication, the cutting-edge endocrinologists, and their diabetes is getting worse, both in blood sugar levels, even medicated, and also their A1C hemoglobins. In less than 4 months, I had their blood sugars down to 68 without medication, and their A1C hemoglobin down to 4.3. And it had been way up there over like 8.9 or something like that, their A1C hemoglobin. So this book we have, and it's just really taking all kinds of nifty turns in this, that, and the other. We literally have thousands of people who've been able to wean themselves off their diabetic medication. We've been able to save thousands of people when it comes down to saving their feet and eyes, getting them off of dialysis. When they're on dialysis and they're getting down to where some of them haven't urinated in years, and just after a couple of weeks in our program, they're able to start urinating again after a couple of months or off the dialysis list, off the kidney transplant list. So give Doc 90 days. That's why I always ask people, give me 90 days. Give Doc 90 days and get on the healthy blood sugar pack. Follow your doctor's instructions. As your blood sugar goes up and down, do what he's told you. If your blood sugar goes down, you take less medication. If your blood sugar goes down, you get down below 100 without medication for a week. You don't need medication anymore. Just take it once or twice a week to kind of keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on. But you watch your diet, you supplement properly, and the odds are you'll be next diabetic pretty quick. So this is exciting. We can make, I believe we can make America a diabetes-free nation in 30 days. But everybody's going to have to listen to me instead of the medical doctors. They don't know anything about nutrition, and that's why they're killing you. We'll be back after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Toronto, Canada, and Kenise, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Kenise, you're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. I just had a couple questions for you.
Okay.
I wanted to ask about antibiotics during pregnancy. Like, my sister, she's in her first trimester, and she went to the doctor for a sore throat, and he prescribed amoxicillin. So I wanted to get your opinion on that, even though they recommend it's safe.
Okay, well, certain penicillins are, of all the antibiotics, are the safest ones for developing embryo. How far along is she in pregnancy, do you know?
She's only like a month and a half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's where the embryo is still forming, but they have a lot of experience in doing that, and so just from experience, there's no known birth effects associated with it. Now, on the other hand, tetracyclines, if she was given tetracycline, that's a different story. They can interfere with teeth development, and the teeth can be, the baby's born with, when his teeth come out, they're brown instead of white, and
what
that
about miscarriage?
I'm sorry?
Is there any, a miscarriage can be caused by that?
I've never heard of it, and of course, they've been prescribing penicillin for 50 years to pregnant women, and there's never been anything, for instance, thalidomide. There's all these babies born with no arms and legs, or their hands coming out of their shoulders and their feet coming out of their hips kind of thing. Thalidomide is one of those drugs that cause a lot of birth defects, very well documented. But penicillin in various forms, like amoxicillin, things like that, as much as I dislike antibiotics, there is no known birth defect associated with the use of this penicillin family of antibiotics that has been used for a long time. So that's all I can say about that.
For that. And another thing is, how about the longevity products during pregnancy? Because on the bottles, it says that consult a physician. So,
Okay.
I'm
Well,
not
by
sure
law-
if I should recommend to my sister.
By law,
Yeah.
it's we're required to say that on the bottle. Anytime you're talking about suggesting a pregnant woman take it. But on the other hand, we have thousands and thousands and thousands of women over the past 20-something years that have taken these products and with no problems. We call them mineral babies because they tend to be healthier, stronger, develop faster, and so forth. And like I say, these are women who have a history of miscarriages, babies being born with various birth defects. And then they take our supplement program, and the subsequent pregnancy is just perfect. And the development of the baby, especially when they're breastfeeding, is just perfect. And so we have a lot of experience, and I'm sure if there was going to be any problems or would be something happen, but praise the good Lord, nothing's ever happened. And we've been doing this a long time and don't have any problems here. We probably spend more money for quality control and safety than any other supplement program out there, because that was our first primary focus is if we do nothing else, we're not going to hurt anybody. But that's a great question. Thank you, Kenise. We'll be back after these messages.
Let's head to Pennsylvania. And Ed, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Ed, you're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. I have problems with dry eyes. I've had dry eyes, since the 90s anyways, and I had LASIK surgery at the end of the 90s, and that made it a little bit worse, but, I'd have problems off and on, and it's been a serious problem. Now I've got punctal plugs in, and I'm using lacquer certs.
Okay, I'm missing something there, because there's some kind of beeping on the line, so I don't know if you're pushing buttons or something. It sounded like there's beeping on the line. But anyway,
it's been a little bit broke up listening to you too. But can you hear me now?
Well, I still hear. It sounds like somebody's texting on your line.
I think it's a cell phone line, Doc.
It's a cell phone line. Okay. At any rate, you have to tell me you've had dry eyes, which can be sort of a manifestation of Bell's palsy, or squeezing of the facial nerves. It's also called Sjogren's syndrome, dry eyes, dry mouth, and it usually goes along with osteoporosis of the skull, things like receding gums, gingivitis, periodontal disease, arthritis, osteoporosis, degenerative disc disease. Do you have any of that stuff?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. What do you weigh, Ed?
I weigh 162 pounds, and I do have rheumatoid arthritis. I've had it for 31 years. I do take Celebrex. I also have hypogonadism, too.
Okay. All right. Now, do you have any skin problems, any eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis?
Yes, I do have psoriasis. It's pretty mild these days, but I still do have it.
Okay. Are you medicating for that?
Not currently, no. I just take the Celebrex and the Androgel.
Do you know what your blood cholesterol, your total blood cholesterol level is without medication?
No, well, I haven't had it taken in the last couple of years, but it's always under 200.
Okay, is it 90 or is it 110 or is it 180? I mean, where's it at?
It'd be more like 170 to 180.
Mm-hmm. That's without medication.
Yeah, without medication. I take the medication.
Yeah. Okay, well, everything else you've told me here, did you ever have any asthma when you were a kid?
No.
Did you have your appendix out when you were a kid?
No.
You have a history of constipation where you needed laxatives or fiber to have regular bowel movements?
Yes, I do, and I've been going gluten-free now for a few years. Occasionally I eat a few oats, but not in a while. I might have...
Okay, well, oats are bad. No wheat, barley, rye, or oats. If you have a dog or a cat, they got to be on canned dog food, not dry dog food. Everybody else in your household's got to be gluten-free, because if you're washing your clothes with theirs or sitting on the same couch and all that kind of stuff, you're still getting gluten. Even if you avoid the major ones like spaghetti and bread and pizza crust, you're still getting enough gluten to cause problems. Okay, at 162 pounds, we're going to run to one of those message moments. Get your pen and paper ready. I'm going to give you a little program here, but you really need to listen to that CD called Serial Killers, so you can find out all the hidden places you're running into gluten. Get your pen and paper ready. We'll give you a program after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go right back to Pennsylvania and Ed. And because of the hypogonadism, low T, low testosterone, low cholesterol without medication, psoriasis, all this other stuff, rheumatoid, I would say you have a gluten intolerance. And so really got to crank down on that. Get a hold of that CD called, again, Serial Killers. Then I would have you take what we call the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. I'd have you take 2 of those per month. That'll be 1 ounce of the Osteo FX Plus at breakfast and dinner, 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangerine NutriCrystals at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFA Plus as a breakfast and dinner, and 15 of the Glucogel capsules a day, 5 at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All that will be accomplished by the 2 Healthy Bone and Joint Packs per month. And then I would also have, because of the rheumatoid arthritis, I'd also have you take 9 of our Killer Biotic capsules per day, 3 at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's 3 bottles a month. Killer Biotic is a blend of including 8 herbs, all of which support the immune system, and 2 of them actually have antimicrobial properties. Rheumatoid arthritis is actually caused by an infection with mycoplasma. It's a bug that causes rheumatoid arthritis, so it is killable. And then, again, you're going to have enough nutrition there to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone matrix, bone itself, which can indirectly support and promote healthy eye function because you don't have the manifestations of Sjogren's disease or Bell's palsy. Give me a call every couple of weeks, Ed, and bring us up to date. We'll walk you through this. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Emmitsburg, Maryland, and Carmen, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Carmen, you're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. I'm calling about my dad. He's had several mini strokes between January and August 2 years ago, and he's recovering his brain. I guess he sometimes just stares at you and doesn't talk. He understands, but he doesn't. I don't know if he's having difficulty talking or he doesn't feel like talking. And he has trouble standing and walking, and he's pulling on my arm, which I tore my rotator cuff, so I'm making him stay in bed all day long because I can't lift him out of bed. He only weighs 82 now. He's losing weight because he doesn't want to eat, and I don't know what to make him eat. When I was giving him oatmeal, but you said no oats, he was gaining weight, and he got up to 89, but if I don't give him oatmeal, the eggs and the steak doesn't give him any fat or anything, so he doesn't eat, and he doesn't gain any weight.
Okay, well, here's what. Okay, well, let me answer your 18 questions there. Okay, and so here's what we need to do. We need to get him some food, first of all. Good nursing care is going to be his best friend here. So what I want you to do is get our Slender FX Weight Management Shake. And if you put it with water, it's a weight loss program. But if you make it with heavy whipping cream, throw 2 eggs in there, make it with heavy whipping cream, and then throw in our Beyond Tangerine, 2 scoops per serving. And you can even make it into an ice cream if you like to eat ice cream. Put the eggs in there. Make it with heavy whipping cream. Throw a couple of scoops of the Beyond Tangerine in there. Whip it up real good in a machine, a blender of some kind. Put it in the freezer. Make an ice cream out of it. It's a sugar-free ice cream, but it has an enormous amount of good calories because it's made with heavy whipping cream, protein plus the eggs, plus the nutrition of the Beyond Tangerine. Don't forget to throw in, so he doesn't get any more strokes, you want to be sure to throw in at his weight, somewhere around just a little less than 100 pounds, I would have him take 3 of the either EFA pluses or 3 of the EFAs, or 3 of the EFA pluses and 3 of the EFAs at each day, and you can blend those up in the either a shake or ice cream, whatever flips his switch, and he's going to get enough calories to gain weight. So he's got to stay away from wheat, barley, rye, and oats. He also needs to stay away from fried foods. He's got to stay away from processed meats with nitrates and nitrites, and no oils is the worst thing for his brain. Ensure, if you read the label on Ensure, it's actually made with corn oil. Corn oil is the base of it, as a main source of calories, plus a few, not a lot, but a few omega-3s. But the negatives of that corn oil is very bad for him with a history of strokes. So that's where I would start. And we'd also get the de-stress capsules into him. In each serving of that Slender FX Weight Management Shake, made with everything else, I would throw in a couple of capsules, open them up, dump the powder in there from the de-stress capsules, 2 of those. I'd give him 4 of those a day, 2 at breakfast, 2 at dinner at his weight. And I would also throw in a couple of the Ultimate Daily tablets in case he got some vascular dementia up there. I would also, that'd be 2 of those twice a day. That's 1 bottle a month of the Ultimate Daily Tabs. You got to grind them up and put them in the ice cream or in the shake, whichever one he likes better. And let's go there. Let's just start there. And give me a call every couple of weeks. I want to know his weight, blood pressure, all kind of stuff, how he's eating, how he's responding to all this nutrition. But I find that people who need to maintain some weight, they need the eggs to maintain the muscle mass, but they also need some calories here, so not breaking down the protein for just calories. And making that shake out of the heavy whipping cream is the way to go. Give me a call every couple of weeks, Carmen. We'll go from there. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Prescott, Arizona. And Roxy, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Roxy. You're on the air.
Okay. Hi, Dr. Wallach.
Yes, how can I help you?
Yes, I think you can help me. I have 2 grandchildren, my daughter, and they're both boys, and they both have autism. And
okay, how old are they?
One is 8, and the other one is almost 6.
Okay.
And I know their weights also.
Okay. What's the weight?
The older one, the 8 or 9-year-old, he weighs 75 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
He's 52 inches tall. And the younger one, he weighs 50 pounds. He's 45 inches tall.
Okay. Well, here's the thing we want to do. Number one, I'd get them both on the Healthy Start Pack appropriate for their body weight. The 75-pound guy, he can take 1 Healthy Start Pack per month, give him a half a dose at breakfast, half a dose at dinner. The little guy, when 50 pounds, he can take half of the Healthy Start Pack each month, so 1 Healthy Start Pack is going to last him 2 months. And so you're going to give him a half a dose each day, but cut that half a dose in half, so he's getting a quarter of a dose at breakfast, quarter of a dose at dinner, so that'll last him 2 months for the 50-pound kid. And the 75-pound guy, I'd give him a half a dose at breakfast, half a dose at dinner. I'd also have him have eggs for breakfast, scrambled eggs and butter. Kids tend to like scrambled eggs and butter. You can salt them and all that kind of stuff. You can have hamburger patties, not the bun, no sugar. I would also make ice cream out of our, again, shake, throw some eggs in there. Our Slender Effect shake, make it with heavy whipping cream. There's no sugar in it. They got to stay away from sugar. That includes fruit and fruit juices. They can get everything they need from vegetables that they would get from fruit without the sugar piece. And then I would also give the little guy, the 50-pound guy, 2 of our de-stress capsules per day. The 75-pound guy, I'd give him 4 a day, 2 at breakfast, 2 at dinner. If they don't want to swallow them, you can open them up and put the powder in a tablespoon of unsweetened applesauce. And let's start there. Get them off of all gluten, no wheat, barley, rye, or oats. I'd get them that Serial Killer CD. We also have one called God's Recipe, which goes into ADD, ADHD, and autism. And then it wouldn't hurt for the mother, your daughter, to get in addition to the CD called Serial Killers. And you find, of course, wheat in everything. They use it to thicken it in tomato soup. They use it as filler in things like meatloaf and meatballs. It's also a filler in sausage-like meats, pastrami, pepperoni, salami, bologna, etc., etc. All that's going to be done. But let her get the book, Rare Earths, Men, Cures, and read chapters 4, 5, and 6. It'll be very revealing. 4, 5, and 6 in Rare Earths, Men, Cures. We'll be back with more Truth, Justice, and the Youngevity Way after these messages. We're back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here for Youngevity, the 90 for Life Crusade. And Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Wichita, Kansas. And Jerry, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Jerry, you're on the air.
Hello, Dr. Wallach. This is Jerry. I'm a 50-year-old male, 150 pounds, 5'9". I've been battling celiac disease, candida yeast, and food allergies for about 15 years. I spent over $100,000 on doctors and supplements and this and that, and the 40-some different doctors, and I just can't beat this yeast.
Okay.
Everything I try works for a while and then quits.
Sure. Okay, well, let's start out. Do you have a dog or a cat?
They're outside.
Okay, you still feed them, though, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, you got to feed them canned dog food. You can't feed them dry dog food. I want you to get a hold of that CD called Serial Killers. If you're still battling this stuff, it means you're getting gluten unknowingly someplace. And that CD, Serial Killers, is only a couple of bucks, and it will teach you all the hidden places you're going to find gluten. Everybody in your household, whether it's the canary, the dog, the cat, spouse, kids, grandma, anybody in the household has got to be gluten-free also. Because one crumb of wheat the size of the point of a pin or the dot on an I, on a standard printed page, is enough to make you sick for 2 weeks if you're seriously gluten intolerant. And that's celiac disease, okay? Now, the yeast and everything don't cause any problems, but they're a secondary invader when your immune system is down. Sounds like you're been down for a long time. So what I want you to do is, eat. If you're not allergic to chicken eggs, at your body weight, I'd have you eat 6 to 8 chicken eggs a day, spread them out during the day. If you're allergic to chicken eggs, I'd go to an Oriental food store and get duck eggs, guinea eggs, turkey eggs, quail eggs, and, eat 4 to 6 of them. Quail eggs, you're going to have to eat 20 25 eggs a day because they're only the size of a grape. And then I want you to take and go to the grocery stores. Now, they have so many gluten-free aisles in grocery stores now because it's a big market. 1/3 of Americans, 115 million Americans, are gluten intolerant, according to the Mayo Clinic, 2009. So it's 115 million Americans, so it's a big economic thing for the grocery stores. They all have gluten-free aisles. We also have what we call Valerie's Gluten-Free Cookbook. You can contact your Youngevity associate. You get that if you like to cook yourself. And then I would get a hold of your body weight. I'd go with 2 of the Healthy Start packs per month. If you have problems such as arthritis, osteoporosis, and back problems, stuff like that, I would get the Healthy Bone and Joint pack and go ahead and take 2 of those per month, 1 full dose of everything twice a day. And I would also take the de-stress capsules, take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. I would also get a hold of the Smart FX, take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. Because you have this chronic yeast stuff, I'd go ahead and get what we call Killer Biotic. It's a blend of 8 herbs plus other stuff. I want you to take 9 of those a day, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner. That will support your immune system. Plus, 2 of those 8 herbs actually have the ability to kill bugs. They actually have antimicrobial properties, and they can kill yeast and fungus and bacteria and viruses and so on. So it's worth giving that a shot. But get a hold of, again, that CD called Serial Killers. Listen to that, and you'll be amazed at all the places you're going to find wheat, barley, rye, and oats. I mean, we're talking about beer. We're talking about salami and bologna. We're talking about tomato soup. Chicken rice soup is thickened with wheat. You get nuts from the health food store in a package. It says, naturally gluten-free. Then you turn to the back and it says, these nuts have been processed on equipment that processes wheat products. So the dust in that bag is just loaded with wheat flour. And so you find it everywhere. So everybody in the household has got to be wheat, barley, rye, and oat-free. And again, there's all kinds of gluten-free cereals and breads and muffins and pancake and waffle mix, and you can also make your own pizza crust. There's some of those companies out there, they say, we have gluten-free pizza, and you don't see the advertisements on TV anymore because a lot of people who are gluten intolerant went there and they got really sick because they think gluten intolerance is just a wheat allergy. It's not even an allergy, first of all, but there's gluten in wheat, barley, rye, and oats. So you have to learn how to live like an Oriental and eat more baked sweet potatoes with butter and cinnamon, more baked squash with butter and cinnamon, lots of steamed vegetables, lots of animal protein, and the supplement program we just laid out for you. Call me every 2 weeks if you would, Jerry. Bring me up to date. We'll walk you through this. Sounds pretty straightforward to me. Well, thank you, everybody. Great questions and testimonies today. Thank you so much, Doug and Susan. Superlative job as usual. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MyTV. 1-855-905-MyTV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MyTV. 1-855-905-MyTV.
With a new year coming, it's time for a new way to look at weapon storage. Safes can't be accessed quickly, and racks are unsafe for children. Covert cabinets are the next level in home defense. They fit seamlessly into any home's decor, and they provide quick access to firearms while keeping them uniquely hidden. Covert cabinets, the ideal hidden storage solution. Custom made in the USA. Covert cabinets are an elegant and practical alternative to the bulky and obvious storage systems of the past. Find out more at covertcabinets.com. That's covertcabinets.com.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. Again, that number is 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we will see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember the phone number. Again, it's 313-444-3463. Again, that number is 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. Again, that number is 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we will see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember the phone number. Again, it's 313-444-3463. Again, that number is 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
If you're up several times every night to go to the bathroom, have frequent urination during the day, feel like you have to urinate, but then have difficulty getting a stream going, have leaking, dribbling, or urgency to the point a restroom must always be nearby, you may have an enlarged prostate. According to the National Kidney Foundation, by age 60, more than half of all men have an enlarged prostate, or BPH. By age 85, that number is 90%, according to the American Urological Association. Ultimate ProstFX from Youngevity has been developed for nutritional support of the prostate gland. ProstFX promotes prostate health and supports healthy prostate function. Stop sprinting to the restroom and avoid those embarrassing moments with ProstFX from Youngevity. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Hey, if you're like me, your life is hectic. You don't know where you're going to be next. Between kids and family and in-laws and work and traffic and everything else that's driving me crazy right now, my life is insane. I bet your life's insane as well. When do we have time to get every single nutrient we need to be healthy? When? Well, I've got a tip for you. Take a product called Pollen Burst. It's so simple, even I can do it. All you have to do is open the package, pour it in water, mix it up, and bam, you're ready to go. It tastes great. It's not one of those medicine tasting things. It tastes great, low in calories, helps curb your appetite, gives you natural energy that doesn't let you crash, gives you your vitamins, minerals, nutrients, everything from the plant world. And I got to tell you, for a busy person like me or a busy person like you, we need simple, we need good. Pollen Burst is your answer. Tastes great. Try it, and you'll feel better.
Call your local Youngevity distributor to find out how Pollen Burst can make you feel better. And don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, LibertyOnCall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to LibertyOnCall.org right now, for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's LibertyOnCall.org.
Fish has been thought of as a brain food for eons, but it's not the fish that's key. It's actually the essential fatty acids, EFAs, or omega-3s found in fish, called essential because they're necessary for good health and your body can't make them. So they must be consumed through diet or supplementation. Youngevity has developed the perfect supplement in SmartFX, an acronym for Sustained Memory and Retrieval Time, a concentration of DHA and EPA, both members of the omega-3 family, supporting neural path function and cardiovascular health for optimal mental concentration, awareness, focus, and agility. If you've got a mentally demanding career, you're a student crunching for the big test, or just want to maintain health for a sense of well-being, try SmartFX from Youngevity. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
If you've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, or the metabolic syndrome, and you're tired of seeing your blood glucose levels rise and fall like a ship on the ocean, but you don't want to take those drugs the rest of your life, Youngevity has an alternative. A product called Sweeties has been developed just for you. Used as part of your regular diet, Sweeties helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels. A formulation specially designed to nutritionally assist your body with the regulation of your blood sugar level. Sweeties supports healthy glucose metabolism because it's fortified with aspartic acid, chromium, and vanadium, all to help you promote healthy blood sugar levels. If you want to get off those drugs and control your blood sugar metabolism naturally, try Youngevity's Sweeties product. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Did you know that home break-ins increase more than 100% during the holidays? It takes just 10 seconds for an intruder to kick in your door, but police response to a home alarm system is more than 20 minutes, and intruders are in and out of your home in 5 minutes. Thieves know that you're not home and have presents inside just waiting to be taken. And if you are home, how safe will you feel with an intruder lurking inside with your family? That's why police across the country are recommending you use Door Armor. Proven to withstand the force of a battering ram, Door Armor keeps intruders out. It's easy to install and barely visible, and your Door Armor is guaranteed for life. Go to InvasionStopper.com for a very special buy one, get one at half off deal. These savings are for a limited time and only available to GCN listeners. Protect your valuables and loved ones this holiday season. Go to InvasionStopper.com now. That's InvasionStopper.com.
If survivalist housing has been in your plans, get ready. We're bringing our Timberline range camps to you February 6th through 14th, the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Get an up-close look at some of our most popular Timberline models or visit survivalistcamps.com to pre-order a camp. We'll bring it to the show and save you the cost of shipping. It's the perfect time to get that camp you've wanted. Go to survivalistcamps.com, then plan on joining us at the Great American Outdoor Show in February in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Winter has just begun, and are you already tired of being cold? How would you like to never be cold again? This is Dale with Fortress Clothing, and I'm here to tell you, you will never be cold again with Fortress. If you're tired of freezing your butt off, elk hunting, sitting in a tree stand deer hunting, winter camping, fishing, ice fishing, no longer fear the cold. If you snowmobile, ski, snowboard, get Fortress. Sledding with the kids, shoveling the walks, shopping, or if you or your spouse get cold feet at home, get Fortress. If you're stuck outside working in the cold or find yourself in an emergency situation, get our winter bug out bag and you will never be cold again. Fortress is the answer, so quit complaining and go to fortressclothing.com. It's a mid-layer garment that goes with anything you want to wear. Enter coupon code RADIO and get 20% off any item. Go now while we still have inventory. fortressclothing.com.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.